Daniel Penny has been acquitted of all charges in the situation in New York. Very tragic situation that clearly escalated super quickly with regards to a military gentleman named Daniel Penny who saw someone who was having some sort of mental breakdown. Multiple people interceded, tried to take this guy and restrain him, and he tragically passed away. And people were referring to this as either indication of a deletion of a human or a complete acquittal in the sense that it was self-defense. All right. Now, I'm not going to show you guys the graphic video, but what is interesting is that in the city of New York, which is a fairly left-leaning city, as most cities are, with a pretty progressive court system, they found this gentleman they first demoted the charges, and then they completely found him innocent of everything.
Wow. That's crazy.
Right. And again, super tragic situation. This is a combination, in my opinion, of like poor mental health with poor access to mental health, with bad systems to protect people from folks who are struggling with mental health. New York has completely gone unhinged with some of their cash-free bail systems and trying to kind of overturn which were real criminal justice issues from decades ago. Well, now, in this sort of situation, Daniel Penny is found innocent of all charges. And people are obviously going to compare this to Kyle Rittenhouse.
Okay, yes, it's a good one.
Who, if I'm honest, and for a lot of us, was the beginning on pulling of that thread of like, oh, the media is out here just lying.
That's true.
The way the Kyle Rittenhouse thing was initially reported was like he just went into this protest and just started unloading on people.
Yeah.
And that's not what happened at all when the footage came out. And we saw the footage, we're like, oh, wait, no. Like, this is clearly self-defense, right? Now, should he have been there as a kid with the gun from a different, right? Like, that's a separate issue. But to say that he was just this vigilante that went in. So now the leader, and there's a silver lining in this, I hope, which we'll get to in a second. But there's the leader of the BLM, which I'm not even sure how they're still around as an organization.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
I didn't know anyone that gave to them back then. I think most people were like, yeah, the sentiment is important, right? Like we should do better to not have people unfairly treated by police, and that happens to black people. That was like the sentiment that people were behind. Now it's like the organization is dead, as far as I know. $60 million squandered, mansions bought for family members.
Let's go.
This is, I guess, the leader of the New York chapter. His name is Hawk Newsom. That's a combination of two things that are...
There's like two cultural phenomenons kind of put into one right there, right?
Governor Newsom and the...
Governor.
Governor.
Gavin Newsom.
Gavin, yeah. And
Hawk Tuagrow.
Hawk Tuagrow, who's also in a miscalculation of her own.
Miscalculation of her... Wow, look at that.
All right, so
a glitch in the Matrix.
Go ahead,
play. Glitch in the Matrix, and we get Hawk Newsom.
Just like everybody else has vigilantes, we need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do?
I genuinely feel bad for this guy because it's a retelling of the event. Right now, I don't think anyone was intending to delete this person.
Yeah, because he was being loud.
Yeah, people were trying to restrain him because they saw him as a physical threat, and he was making threats to other people on the train.
Yeah,
that is what actually happened, and it wasn't just one guy; it was two other people. And so his framing of this is it's sad because it's reflective of a worldview that everything is seen through this. Like he was just on there being loud, and they just got him and held him down and deleted him. That's not what happened.
Do the same when they attempt to oppress us.
Right.
I'm tired. I know you're looking for us to be like, oh, go and march. No. This weekend, I want you to hold a community event everywhere from the Bronx to Houston to Seattle to Florida. Black people, whole community event, and talk about what you need.
Okay, so how this is being framed with the vigilante quote is that now he's calling for vigilantes to go out into the community. What he's saying is hold a community event. Well, I don't understand the difference between this and a protest.
Community event.
A community event. Hopefully, I don't understand. Now, here's the only saving grace. When they release footage of the people outside, there wasn't a lot of people outside, a couple dozen maybe. So I think they were expecting for this massive uprising and for people to like wild out. And that is just not what seems to be happening here. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thank goodness that's not what's happening here. So it's just like a couple people that are like in scuffles. And I think ultimately, yeah, this is absolutely about a lack of mental health resources. Like that's what this is ultimately about, right? A lack of mental health resources and a lack of, what do you do with people who are gone? Like they're not all there. What do you do with them if they don't have a family? And what do you do with them if they don't have a support system? Right. And that's how this sort of stuff. I'm not talking about these people. I think these people were just misguided and sad. Now, there's one clip here that I'm going to show you that I think is deeper worldview issue.
He was hungry.
He was hungry. He was for being poor. I'm not trying to make fun of these girls. This is the downstream effects of this worldview.
Yeah.
The worldview is that he was hungry and he was for being poor.
Yeah.
There are people who believe that any sort of external outcomes that are different is always signs of a corrupt and bad system. Now, are there historically, absolutely have there been historic injustices and bad systems and things that have caused people harm, specifically black people? That is true. I don't think anyone is denying it. I don't even think the Daily Wire guys would deny that. Like Matt Walsh wouldn't deny that.
Yeah.
Right. But the issue is that the reason this happened to this, the reason why they took him out is because he was hungry, he was poor, which means that from their worldview, they view that people get deleted and taken out because they're poor, and the wealthy and those with power delete those who don't have wealth and power.
Yeah.
And that's the paradigm that they're seeing everything through. That's the worldview is powerful oppressor, poor oppressed. And everything is through that paradigm. And then you could add a racial component to it. You could add a gender component to it. You could add all these layers to it. But that is what they're seeing everything through. Instead of seeing it as there are none righteous, no, not one. We're all sinful. Some of us are sinful and we have issues with pride. Some of us are sinful and have issues with sexual immorality. Some of us are sinful and have issues with partiality, which can manifest as racism or sexism in terms of the individual. So there's all sorts of issues that we have because we're fallen. And can that be corrupted to power structures? Sure. But that's not what happened here. You had a liberal jury in a liberal town find a guy who was doing his best to protect people, and they found him innocent. And the guy, he was protecting them, oddly enough, shout out to ARC, it talks about multiple arrests and multiple things that happened, right? This is what happens when you're in public spaces with other people. Things go haywire, especially on those trains. Some of you guys have never been on the train. It's a very scary, tight, condensed, everyone's close environment. Like I don't really ride the train when I go to New York like that, especially post 2020. You know? And so like that's a dangerous place to be when everyone's compact and someone goes on there and starts threatening people, and everybody on that train was like he helped us out. Oh my gosh, he stepped up. You know what I mean? And so it's like to take it and make it this narrative of anything other than a tragedy, not the fact that this was someone that was completely belligerent, irate, and a threat to other people, and that's why this has happened.
I was sitting up there, I heard the young man that's on the floor saying, hey, I'm willing to, I'll do anything. I'm willing to go to jail. I don't care. And he was saying it so loud that everybody turned around. So this young man.
So that's the state of mind of the dude that got on the train. I'm willing to die.
What did I see? I was sitting over there, I heard the young man that's on the floor saying, hey, I'm willing to, I'll do anything. I'm willing to go to jail. I don't care. And he was saying it so loud that everyone turned around. So this young man, he got belligerent and he tackled him down. The one that just passed away in the brown jacket.
The guy with the brown jacket took him to the ground.
Yeah, he took him to the ground and gave him a chokehold. Not a hard chokehold.
Not a hard chokehold. Take him to the ground. The guy was belligerent. The ground of the brown jacket took it down. Not a hard chokehold.
Secure him, and the guy fought.
Secured him, and the guy fought.
All right, and then that's when everybody totally realized what was going on. And I think this guy's on.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's not to like minimize the devastation of a life loss, but this is not what that is being presented.
Yeah.
So my hypothesis is that I don't think there's going to be a bunch of rioting over this. I don't think there's going to be a bunch of community meetings or whatever he called it, marches.
Yeah.
I think anyone who looks at this goes, yeah, I mean, that's sad, but like, you can't behave this way and not expect for citizens to do something about it.
Yeah. Totally.
You know? And that sucks. Like, that sucks that, again, a life was lost. But I think New York has way bigger issues than this. I think New York has way bigger issues than this. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please be sure to comment below and subscribe and all that good stuff. And check out this other video that YouTube seems to be recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.